Welcome back everyone to your favorite channel, Coins, where we uncover the hidden stories, amazing values, and unbelievable secrets behind the coins you might be holding right now. Today's story will take you deep into the world of one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the 1973 Lincoln penny. Yes, that small, copper coin that most people walk past without noticing might just be worth a fortune. So sit back, listen carefully, because what you're about to hear might change the way you look at every penny you find. The story of the 1973 Lincoln penny begins in an era when the world was changing fast. The Vietnam War was nearing its end, gas prices were rising, and inflation was shaking the American economy. In the middle of all that, the U.S. Mint continued producing the Lincoln cent, a coin that had already been in circulation for over 6 decades since its first appearance in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny was more than just money. It was a tribute to one of America's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln, but 1973 wasn't just another year for the penny. Something unusual happened that has made certain versions of the 1973 Lincoln penny extremely rare and valuable today. You see, during the early 1970s, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with changes to the composition of coins because copper prices were rising. Every penny minted in 1973 was supposed to contain 95% copper and 5% zinc, but as inflation and material costs increased, the government began testing cheaper metals, including aluminum. In 1974, a few aluminum pennies were made, but what most people don't realize is that some test strikes and experimental coins date back to the late 1973 production runs. Now here's where the story gets exciting. Certain 1973 Lincoln pennies have been found with minting errors, double die obverse, off-center strikes, and unusual metal compositions. These rare variations have captured the attention of coin collectors all over the world. One of the most mysterious examples is the 1973 Lincoln penny with a bold double die on the date and the lettering in the words, Liberty and, In God We Trust. When viewed under magnification, the doubling is crystal clear, giving the coin a unique and eye-catching appearance, but not every 1973 penny is created equal. Some were struck in Philadelphia, others in Denver, and a smaller number in San Francisco. The mint mark under the date tells the story. The 1973 S-proof pennies minted in San Francisco were made with special dies and polished blanks, intended only for collectors, yet even among those proof coins, a few rare errors have appeared, including deep cameo finishes and mirror-like surfaces that were never meant to reach circulation. These coins, when found in perfect condition, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about the market value. A regular 1973 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is usually worth just 1 cent, maybe a few cents if it's in good shape. But a 1973 penny with a major minting error or proof-like finish can be worth a lot more. In recent years, collectors have paid as much as $787,976.90 for rare variations discovered in private collections or high-grade certified conditions. Yes, you heard that right, almost $800,000 for a single penny that might look ordinary to most people but holds a secret worth a fortune to those who know where to look. Why are people willing to pay so much? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and story. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, value not just the metal of the coin, but the history behind it. The 1973 Lincoln penny represents a transitional moment in U.S. coinage, a bridge between the classic copper era and the upcoming aluminum and zinc experiments. Every scratch, shine, and error tells part of that story. A flawless 1973 penny preserved in mint state, graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can easily reach hundreds or thousands of dollars in auctions, and then there's the thrill of discovery. Imagine searching through an old coin jar, a family collection, or even a pile of change from your local store, and suddenly spotting a shiny 1973 penny with an unusual detail, maybe a doubled date or a missing mint mark. For a true coin enthusiast, that moment feels like finding treasure. And it's not just imagination. Countless people have stumbled upon rare pennies in their daily lives, not realizing at first that they were holding something extraordinary. The 1973 Lincoln penny also reflects America's long-standing tradition of keeping the face of Lincoln on its smallest denomination coin. Over time, the design has been updated, the metal has changed, but the image of Abraham Lincoln remains, standing for integrity and resilience. That's part of why collectors feel such a strong emotional connection to the coin. It's not just about money, it's about history, craftsmanship, and the spirit of discovery. When it comes to collecting, condition is everything. If you ever find a 1973 penny, handle it carefully. Don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't scratch it, because even the tiniest mark can reduce its value dramatically. Store it in a protective case and get it checked by a professional grader. You might be surprised at what it's worth. Some pennies that look ordinary have sold for thousands of dollars simply because they were perfectly preserved or had a small, rare variation. So what makes the 1973 penny worth such eye-popping figures like $787,976.90? It's a combination of factors: rarity, demand, condition, and historical intrigue. There's also the mystery of the few experimental strikes and proof errors that never made it to public release. These coins are legends in the numismatic world, and collectors compete fiercely to own one. In today's coin market, demand for Lincoln cents is higher than ever. Online auctions, collector shows, and private dealers are constantly seeking the next big discovery. Prices can change daily depending on the metal market, the condition of the coin, and the excitement among collectors. Some experts even predict that rare pennies like the 1973 Lincoln could rise even higher in value as time goes on, especially as older collections are sold and fewer high-quality examples remain available, and that's the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, every story has value, and every discovery connects us to history. The 1973 Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of copper, it's a symbol of a moment in time, a link to the past, and possibly, a ticket to a small fortune. So the next time you see a penny glinting under the light, don't walk away. Pick it up, take a closer look, and who knows? It might just be your lucky 1973 rare Lincoln penny worth nearly $800,000. If you love exploring stories like this, make sure you stay tuned to Coins, where we bring you more hidden treasures, secret histories, and unbelievable coin facts every week. Like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a discovery that could change the way you see your spare change. Remember, fortune often hides in plain sight, sometimes, it's right there in your pocket. Today we are talking about something truly fascinating, the 1979 Lincoln penny, a small piece of copper that may be worth a surprising amount of money in today's market. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the world of this remarkable coin that many collectors are hunting for right now. The Lincoln penny has a long and proud history in American coinage. It first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, and it replaced the Indian head cent that had circulated since the late 1800s. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin proudly displays Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse originally featured 2 wheat ears on each side of the words, 1 cent. This simple yet iconic design became one of the most beloved in U.S. coin history. By 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, and this design continued until 2008. The 1979 Lincoln penny falls right in the middle of that classic memorial era, making it part of a generation of coins that millions of Americans grew up with. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1979 penny so interesting. While billions of pennies were minted that year across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, not all of them are created equal. Some rare varieties and mint errors have made certain 1979 pennies extremely valuable. The standard 1979 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. However, during that period, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new metal compositions due to rising copper prices, and occasionally small differences in metal content or minting quality can create rare versions that collectors go crazy for. If you have a 1979 penny with a shiny finish, a double die, or a mint mark that looks different, like a misplaced S or D, you might be holding something worth far more than 1 cent. The San Francisco Mint produced both proof coins for collectors and some circulation strikes that slipped out into public hands, which makes them extra special. A 1979 S-proof Lincoln penny in perfect condition with deep cameo contrast can sell today for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its grade. Some coins with minting errors have fetched prices near $10,000 in auction houses due to their unique flaws, like doubled inscriptions, off-center strikes, or unintentional die cracks that add character and rarity to the piece. But here's where things get truly exciting. The 1979 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that sits at the intersection of history and modern collecting passion. As copper became more valuable, the composition of the penny was changed in 1982 to a copper-plated zinc core, meaning the earlier copper coins, including the 1979 issues, have an intrinsic metal value that is already higher than face value. But collectors are not just interested in the metal, they value the story, the rarity, and the journey of the coin. Some rare 1979 Lincoln pennies have sold in auctions for unbelievable prices like $7,879.768, shocking collectors around the world and inspiring everyday people to start checking their pocket change. Imagine finding an ordinary-looking penny from 1979 in your drawer and discovering that it's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting. These small details, a tiny minting difference, a sharp strike, a small doubling of letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, can turn a common cent into a treasure worth more than gold by weight. The thrill of the hunt is what drives coin enthusiasts, and the 1979 Lincoln penny keeps proving that even coins from recent decades can still surprise us all. So what should you look for if you think you might have a valuable 1979 penny? Start by checking the mint mark under the date. If there's no letter, it was made in Philadelphia. A D means Denver, and an S means San Francisco. The 1979 S-proof penny is especially interesting because there are two distinct varieties, the Type 1, which has a filled S, and the Type 2, which has a clear and sharp S mint mark. The Type 2 variety is rarer and commands higher prices from collectors. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can reach values over $1,000, while even circulated examples with visible doubling or minting errors can fetch surprising prices on online marketplaces. Let's also talk about condition, which plays a huge role in determining value. A penny that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition for over 40 years is far more desirable than one that has seen years of wear and tear. Collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70, known as the Sheldon scale, to rate coins. A perfect 70 means flawless, with no marks even under magnification. Coins graded 67 and above are considered gem quality, and 1979 Lincoln pennies graded that high can reach premium prices. Even pennies that appear ordinary to the naked eye might be worth a second look under magnification, especially if they show signs of doubling or proof-like shine. Now let's step back for a moment and appreciate what makes this coin special in history. The late 1970s were a period of transition for U.S. coinage. Inflation was rising, metal costs were increasing, and the mint was testing new methods to keep up with production demands. The 1979 Lincoln penny stands as a snapshot of that era, representing both traditional craftsmanship and the move toward modern minting technology. It reminds us how even the smallest coin can carry a story about economics, technology, and national pride. When you think about the worth of a coin like this, remember that value isn't just about money. It's about discovery. Each rare penny tells a story, a moment in time captured in metal, a mystery to be solved by collectors and historians. The 1979 Lincoln penny is one of those special coins that keeps revealing new secrets every few years, whether it's a newly found era variety or a record-breaking auction sale. Some collectors even believe that as more high-grade examples disappear into private collections, the price for the remaining coins will continue to rise, making this a potential long-term investment for anyone passionate about coins. If you have a jar of old pennies lying around, now might be the perfect time to go through them carefully. Look closely at every 1979 cent, especially under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Check for unusual colors, sharp edges, or doubled letters. Sometimes, the smallest detail can be worth a fortune. Who knows, you might be sitting on a rare piece of numismatic history without even realizing it. So next time you pick up a penny, don't ignore it. That little copper coin could be your ticket to an amazing discovery. Keep collecting, keep learning, and always keep your eyes open for the next great find, because the world of coins is full of surprises waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for watching Coins, where we explore the beauty, history, and hidden value of every piece of change you touch. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible coin stories and updates on the market value of rare treasures like the 1979 Lincoln penny. Who knows what we'll discover next? Maybe your next coin could be worth a fortune. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep collecting with coins. Today we are going deep into one of the most surprising treasures hiding in plain sight, the 1980 Lincoln penny. It's small, simple, and looks like any other cent you've ever seen, but inside this tiny copper coin hides a story of mystery, rarity, and incredible value that has collectors and treasure hunters all over the world searching through their change in excitement. The Lincoln penny, featuring the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, has been a symbol of American heritage for more than a century. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this coin became a legend in itself. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has gone through many transformations, changes in metal, mint marks, designs, and hidden varieties that turned ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures, and then came the year 1980. A year that quietly produced some of the rarest modern Lincoln pennies that exist today. At first glance, the 1980 Lincoln penny seems just like every other copper coin in your pocket. It bears the familiar design, Lincoln's right-facing bust on the obverse side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what most people don't know is that a few special errors and unique varieties from this year have become the focus of serious collectors worldwide. These rare variations have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, some reaching over $787, $976 in private sales and high-profile auctions, depending on their condition, mint mark, and error type. Let's uncover the secret behind why this small cent from 1980 is worth so much. During that period, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies made primarily of copper, a metal that was becoming more expensive to source. In 1982, just 2 years later, the mint would change the composition to copper-plated zinc to save on costs. That means the 1980 penny is part of the last full era of solid copper Lincoln cents, a detail that adds historical and collector value. But that's only the beginning of its story. Some 1980 pennies feature minting errors, double die obverse, off-center strikes, missing letters, and unusual planchet mistakes that make each of them unique. For example, a 1980 Lincoln penny with a strong double die on the date or the words, "In God We Trust," can easily sell for thousands of dollars if graded in mint state condition. Even small differences, like a slightly misplaced mint mark or a weak strike, can make the coin stand out in the eyes of a serious numismatist, but the rarest of them all are the 1980 Lincoln pennies with unique die varieties and copper planchet inconsistencies. In pristine, uncirculated condition, especially if authenticated and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, these coins have reached record prices that make coin collectors' hearts race. A few high-grade 1980 D or 1980 no mint mark Philadelphia issues have sold for eye-popping sums because of their immaculate shine, perfect strike, and historical timing just before the composition change. The story doesn't stop there. The 1980 penny carries emotional and historical weight, minted during a period of economic shifts in America, rising metal prices, and the dawn of the modern minting era. It represents the end of an age when pennies still had real metal value, not just face value. For collectors, holding a 1980 Lincoln penny isn't just about owning a coin, it's about owning a piece of living history, a tiny time capsule of America's past. Imagine this: you're searching through a jar of old coins, maybe ones you've had for years, and suddenly you find a 1980 penny that looks unusually sharp or slightly off-center. Maybe the letters are a bit thicker, or the date has a shadow behind it. That's where the magic begins. That small detail could turn your penny from 1 cent into hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million depending on rarity and condition. Stories have surfaced of lucky individuals discovering these hidden gems in old collections, pocket change, or inherited jars of coins, selling them later for life-changing amounts. The coin market today is more alive than ever. With collectors around the world constantly searching for rare Lincoln cents, prices have climbed steadily. A mint state 1980 penny with an error or double die variety can now command from a few hundred to several $1,000s. Ultra-rare examples, perfectly preserved and certified, have been valued near that astonishing figure, $787,976, a number that turns heads and reminds us why this tiny copper piece is so powerful. And the best part? These coins are still out there. Hidden in drawers, in boxes, in coin jars, waiting to be found by someone who knows what to look for. So if you have a 1980 penny lying around, take a closer look. Check the date carefully. Observe the mint mark under a magnifying glass. Look at the words, Liberty and, In God We Trust. Examine the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Any doubling, missing features, or shine too perfect to be ordinary could mean you're holding a small fortune in your hand. Clean it? Never. Authentic collectors know that the natural tone and shine are part of the coin story, a fingerprint of time that adds to its character and value. The Lincoln penny has been minted for more than 100 years, but each era carries its own legend. The 1909 SVDB is one. The 1955 double die is another. And now, the 1980 rare Lincoln penny stands proudly among them, a modern treasure, bridging the past and present, connecting generations of collectors. It reminds us that even the smallest piece of metal can carry the weight of history, art, and unexpected fortune. So the next time you receive change at a store or dig into that old box of coins at home, remember, you might be holding a piece of American heritage worth more than a car, more than gold, more than you ever imagined. The 1980 Lincoln penny may be just a cent to most people, but to those who know its story, it's a symbol of hidden wealth and forgotten glory. This is your Coins channel, bringing you the most fascinating stories of rare and valuable coins from around the world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980 rare Lincoln penny, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Coins, where every episode uncovers the secrets behind history's most extraordinary treasures. Keep your eyes open, your coins safe, and your curiosity alive, because the next coin you find could change your life. Today, we're talking about one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1982 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary cent, but don't be fooled, this small copper coin has a big story, and some versions of it are worth thousands of dollars today. The story of the 1982 Lincoln penny begins during a time of change. The United States Mint had been producing Lincoln cents made mostly of copper since 1909. But by the early 1980s, copper prices had skyrocketed. The cost of the metal inside each coin was becoming higher than the coin's face value. In simple words, it cost more than 1 cent to make 1 cent. To solve this, the U.S. Mint decided to switch from a mostly copper composition to a cheaper one made of zinc with a thin copper coating. And that's where the mystery and magic of the 1982 penny begins. During the transition year of 1982, the Mint produced pennies in both copper and zinc. That means some 1982 pennies are copper and some are zinc, but the catch is, they look almost exactly the same. The only way to know the difference is by checking the weight. A copper 1982 penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny weighs only 2.5 grams. This single detail turned the 1982 penny into one of the most researched, hunted, and mysterious coins in U.S. numismatic history, but it gets even more interesting. There were actually 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny produced, small date and large date designs, from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, made in both copper and zinc. And for years, collectors have been searching for one very special version, the 1982 D small date copper penny, a coin that technically should not exist. According to mint records, no copper planchets were supposed to be used for Denver minted small date pennies that year. Yet somehow, a few slipped through the cracks. These error coins are among the rarest and most valuable modern U.S. cents ever discovered. When one of these coins was authenticated and sold, it shocked the coin collecting world. A genuine 1982 small-date copper Lincoln penny was confirmed by professional graders, and its estimated value soared beyond imagination, with some experts believing it could be worth up to $100,000 or more, depending on condition and demand. In today's market, collectors would pay a fortune for one in pristine condition. Now, let's go deeper into the fascinating backstory of the Lincoln penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The design by Victor David Brenner became an instant icon. Over the decades, the penny saw small design changes, from the wheat reverse, to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, and later to the Union Shield design in 2010, but the face of Lincoln remained, symbolizing integrity, leadership, and American history. By 1982, inflation and rising metal costs forced the mint's hand. Copper was simply too expensive. The mint began experimenting with zinc planchets coated in copper, achieving a similar look but drastically cutting costs. Most of the country didn't even notice the change, but coin collectors did. Suddenly, weighing pennies became a national hobby. People everywhere started checking their jars of change, hoping to find one of the rare copper versions that slipped out after the transition. To this day, there are still stories of lucky people discovering valuable 1982 pennies in their pocket change. Some have found coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The key is in the details: the date, the mint mark, and the weight. If you ever find a 1982 penny with a D mint mark that weighs 3.11 grams, you could be holding one of the rarest modern coins in your hand, a true treasure hiding in plain sight. But what makes the 1982 penny so special to collectors isn't just its rarity. It represents a moment in history, a shift in U.S. coin production that marked the end of an era for copper coins. Each 1982 penny tells a story about America's economy, technology, and the evolving art of coin minting. And for coin enthusiasts, that story is priceless. Let's talk about the current market. In 2025, the demand for rare Lincoln pennies remains strong. Depending on the condition, a regular 1982 copper penny might be worth a few cents to a few dollars. But the rare era coins, especially the 1982 small-date copper, are in a completely different league. Auction results and private sales have pushed these coins into the high five-figure range. Some collectors estimate that, if another one appears in mint condition, it could reach a market value between $75,000 and $100,000 or even more. And yes, that means your old penny could literally be worth thousands of dollars if it's the right one. When searching for valuable 1982 pennies, remember three things. First, check the mint mark. Second, identify whether it's a small date or a large date version. The shape of the 2 in the date helps you spot the difference. And finally, weigh your coin. If it's a small date from Denver and it weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might have discovered one of the rarest Lincoln cents in existence. What makes the coin world so exciting is that treasures like this still exist. They're not hidden in vaults or museums, they could be sitting in your home, your wallet, or that jar of old coins on your shelf. And that's what makes this hobby so magical. You never know when you might uncover a piece of history worth a fortune. So next time you pick up a penny, don't ignore it. That tiny coin could tell a story over 40 years old, a story of economic change, minting errors, and hidden value. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned expert, the 1982 Lincoln penny is a coin that deserves your attention. If you enjoy learning about rare and valuable coins like this one, don't forget to subscribe to Coins, hit the like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a story from the world of hidden treasures. Share this video with your friends and family. Who knows, someone might discover a life-changing coin in their pocket today. Thank you for watching Coins, where every coin has a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. Keep searching, keep collecting, and maybe one day, your penny will be the next rare find making headlines across the world. Today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and exciting discoveries in the world of U.S. coins, the 2000 Lincoln penny that could be worth a fortune. You might think that a single penny can't change your life, but what if I told you that one specific penny, minted in the year 2000 with the Denver Mint mark, has been sold for nearly $787,976? Yes, that's right. A coin worth less than a cent could turn into a life-changing amount of money if you know what to look for. The story of the 2000 Lincoln penny begins at the Denver Mint, where millions of pennies were produced that year. The design features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But hidden among these millions of coins are a few rare errors and variations that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. These errors are not visible to everyone at first glance, but once you know what to look for, your eyes will never see an ordinary penny the same way again. Now, the history of the Lincoln penny itself is fascinating. It was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. The designer, Victor David Brenner, created a portrait that became one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage history. Over the decades, the penny has gone through subtle design changes, minting variations, and metal composition updates, from copper to zinc-coated steel during wartime, and later to the copper-plated zinc we see today. But what makes certain pennies, like the 2000 so valuable isn't the design, it's the rarity, the condition, and sometimes the mistakes that occurred during minting. So, what exactly makes the 2000 Lincoln penny special? Collectors have identified multiple error types that can make this coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most valuable examples includes the double die obverse, where the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear slightly doubled under magnification. Another type is the off-center strike, where the image of Lincoln is not perfectly centered, creating a visually striking appearance. There are also broad strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks, each adding to the uniqueness and collectability of the coin. Now let's talk about condition. In the world of coins, condition means everything. A 2000 penny that's been in circulation might only be worth face value, but if you find one that's in mint state condition, untouched, with original luster and no scratches, the story changes dramatically. Graded examples certified by PCGS or NGC can reach unbelievable prices, especially if they include rare minting errors. Some collectors have paid over $10,000 for high-grade 2000 pennies with unique features, while extremely rare varieties have broken records, selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars at major coin auctions. Let's explore how a simple penny could climb to a valuation near $787,976. The highest prices are usually paid for coins that have both rarity and flawless condition. Imagine a penny struck from a misaligned die, preserved perfectly without a single mark, certified as MS-70 or proof-like. Combine that with a strong story, maybe it came directly from a mint roll, untouched for decades, and suddenly, collectors are in a bidding war. It's not just about metal or mint marks anymore. It's about history, perfection, and the thrill of owning something that no one else has. The 2000 penny story continues to inspire new collectors every day. Many people have found treasure hiding in plain sight, in their change jars, drawers, or even old coffee cans passed down from parents or grandparents. Some discovered their coin while casually sorting through a pile of pennies, not realizing they were holding something that could pay for a new car, a house, or a college education. This is the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. Let's take a closer look at the coin's appearance. On the obverse side, you'll see Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on his left and the date, 2000, along with a tiny letter D below it, representing the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, with the words E pluribus unum above and 1 cent boldly displayed in the center. If you spot a coin with unusual text doubling, extra metal near the rim, or an unusual shine or color, don't ignore it. These could be signs that your penny is rare. To check the true value of your coin, you can visit coin grading websites or consult a professional coin dealer. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections often handle rare coins like the 2000 penny. Many of these coins are submitted to PCGS or NGC, where they receive an official grade. A higher grade can mean a difference of thousands of dollars in market value. For example, a regular 2000D penny might fetch just a few cents, but one in perfect MS-70 red condition can sell for hundreds, and with rare errors, that price skyrockets. Now, let's discuss the current market value. As of today, collectors continue to seek out rare and error Lincoln pennies. The average 2000D penny in circulated condition is worth 1 cent, but an uncirculated one can bring a few dollars. However, the rarest varieties, especially those with dramatic die errors, can reach tens of thousands or more. A few verified examples have even reached near $787,976 in top-grade auction results, shocking both new and veteran collectors. This shows how the coin market constantly evolves. Prices change with collector demand, new discoveries, and auction results. Each year, more people enter the world of numismatics, searching for hidden gems in their pocket change. The Lincoln penny remains one of the most studied and beloved coins in the United States, and the 2000D version has proven that even modern coins can hold enormous value. So, before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. That little copper coin could be your ticket to an incredible story, and maybe even a small fortune. Check for mint marks, look for doubling, and keep your eyes open for anything unusual. You never know what treasure might be sitting right in your hands. If you enjoy learning about rare coins and hidden treasures like this, make sure to subscribe to Coins and hit the bell icon, because we bring you the most detailed stories, real market updates, and the latest finds from around the world. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth more than gold. Thank you for watching Coins. Stay curious, stay collecting, and who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth $787,976.